In Zimbabwe, another African animal orphan is also looking for that special someone to share his life with. Twala Trust, on the outskirts of Harare, is a rescue centre taking in injured, abandoned and orphaned animals. It's not meant to be a place that breeds or keeps animals long-term, only a temporary stop for recuperation and rehabilitation. But for a vervet monkey named Horace, it's become his permanent home. He's curious, energetic, and an enthusiastic explorer. He arrived here 5 years ago and has won the heart of Twala Trust's founder, Sarah Carter.
He has literally got an entire sanctuary, a wilderness at his disposal, and every day for him is like his best day.
But it all started with his very worst day.
His mum had been killed by a vehicle on a busy road, and he's just so lucky that the right person came along, rescued him.
Horace was just 2 days old. His survival depended on round-the-clock care.
He was tiny. We call baby monkeys pink faces. They have these little scrunched up pink faces, and when you see that pink face, you know that you're dealing with a really, really little baby.
Weak and fragile, Horace needed all the comfort he could get. Even resident cat Freddie pitched in. The first few days were critical, but Horace was a fighter. He responded to care and was soon on the road to recovery. The plan was for him to join a wild troop, and he was almost ready. But then tragedy struck once more.
He got electrocuted. He strayed off the property and got onto an electric transformer. It was very, very seriously injured. It almost killed him. Sadly, one arm had to be amputated, and the other arm is also damaged from that incident. We were very concerned about this disability for him and how it would affect his life.
All plans for his return to the wild had to be abandoned. But despite his injuries, the irrepressible Horace simply got on with the business of being a monkey.
He's adapted incredibly well to just having one arm. Obviously, he's not as agile as he would be if he had all his limbs. He's just taught himself how to do everything that any monkey would do. It just takes him a little bit more effort and a little bit more thought.
Now Horace has become a full-time mischief maker and part-time nuisance. This non-stop monkey business starts at breakfast.
I would say Horace's favorite food is a tie between bananas and then anything that he can steal. He is a notorious thief.
Despite having everything laid out for him on a plate, Horace is lonely. Occasionally, a local wild troop passes through the sanctuary, and the one-armed orphan can't resist the chance to make new friends.
He will try to get closer to the wild monkeys. It's almost like he's drawn to them in a way, but he's frightened.
Having lost his mum so young, Horace is clueless about vervet society rules. Approaching a dominant male is risky. He doesn't realise he's supposed to be submissive.
Monkeys do operate within a troop with dominance is very important to them. And they can be extremely aggressive to monkeys that they don't know.
They might also see his injuries as a liability. He'd be less able to find food and more vulnerable to predators, like leopards. So it's unlikely that a wild troop would be willing to take him on as a member. But without the social interactions of troop life, Horace is a bit lost. In desperation, he's turning his focus closer to home. The sanctuary also cares for a pack of rescued dogs. But these are not your average friendly pets. Most were victims of abuse and neglect.
We have a lot of dogs that have been kept as security dogs, so they go through quite brutal training for that, often have pretty major psychological problems. And obviously they are chosen as security dogs because they're aggressive.
In Africa, vervet monkeys like Horace are often seen as pests. Guard dogs are encouraged to chase and even kill them. But sociable Horace is seeing them as potential family. His first approach doesn't look too promising. Some of the dogs don't seem quite as hostile. Maybe they'll be more receptive. Then again, maybe not. Then, persistent Horace spots an opportunity. An elderly dog named Isabel, lying quietly alone. He plays his ace and goes for a classic primate tactic, the personal touch. In a monkey troop, grooming helps build bonds and alliances. It's a pretty big hit with the dogs, too. After Isabel, he moves on to another dog called Computer. Interest is growing. And 2 dogs soon become 3. And 4. Pretty soon, they've all lined up for a turn.
He's very, very clever at working out the different personalities and what he can and cannot get away with. He's trying to work out the psychology of that pack because he is trying to integrate himself into the pack.
Horace's nitpicking services are in demand. Ticks and fleas are a constant irritation. Being their resident groomer makes Horace a very popular addition to the family. These dogs have accepted him, and now he's one of the pack.
He is incredibly gentle with them, and it's really touching to see how he will judge that a dog's not feeling well or that maybe a dog is anxious. Often he'll actually lie down with them and have a nap with them, and it's almost like he feels this dog needs special attention and special care, and I want to make them feel better.
In return, Horace has found friendship and fun.
Play for every animal is such an essential part. With all packs or troops or families, reaffirmation is important. You've got to keep establishing your connections and your boundaries.
Now, whenever Sarah takes the dogs out for a walk around the sanctuary, Horace goes too. In his own inimitable style.
I think Horace knew that being part of a dog pack was the closest that he was going to get to like a natural family. There's lots of barking. And then in the midst of this dog chaos, you've got this little monkey running along on his back legs, right in the middle of them, totally confident that it's his right to be there. He's out with his family on an outing, and he's having a good time. He's taught me and everybody here how important it is just to persevere and to be resilient. Whatever life has thrown at him, he's dealt with it, and he makes the most of every single day. And I think that's probably a good lesson for all of us.
By refusing to give up, Horace finally has his longed-for family.